Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. This is my third day here, I think now. Today's what, Friday? I'm a little confused, a little dazed and confused about everything really right now. Feeling a little sore today in my chest. Like a dull ache, basically. Had a little bit of attacks yesterday, mostly this side. So yeah, just kind of like a dull ache. I slept for about 12 hours last night. Something I haven't done in a really long time. And it felt really good. But yeah, just kind of feeling it there a little bit. I do need to get a shower. That'll probably help me feel better. Go for some walks today too, and excuse me. And spent the day just kind of resting, relaxing, chilling out for a change. Haven't done that in a while. And part of it, though, is because I was waiting, excuse me, for the washing machine repairman who didn't show up. I guess something happened in the morning where somehow or another it got canceled. So, yeah, as soon as my friend's husband got home, they're a real nice family. Very, very nice. Total turnaround from what I was used to dealing with out there. Anyway, as soon as he got home, I got on the phone and got in contact with a social worker that my friend, her name's Angela, by the way. Excuse me. She gave me contact information for a social worker that she knows. And I spoke with her yesterday, and I was just completely blown away by the help that I might possibly be able to receive. Total turnaround from the responses that I got out there. It's a X amount long of a waiting list just to get assigned a social worker or whatever. The earliest was with one organization was 2 months. The longest was 8 months, and that's just to be assigned a social worker, let alone possibly looking into help, possibly receiving help, right? Section 8, we talked about Section 8. We also talked about the Section 8 vouchers. Might be possibility of being able to get right into someplace, Section 8 housing, which completely blew me away, because out there's a 2-year waiting list to just, with any Section 8 housing. There's a two-year waiting list, and also with the vouchers. So, yeah, and I had to explain that to her. She was just like, oh, no. She thought I was talking about Section 8 housing as far as the waiting list. I'm like, oh, no, that's with both the housing and the voucher. She was just flabbergasted. So, yeah, gave her the rundown of everything that I need. Also looking into as far as getting my food stamps transferred over, getting on health care. Of course, we got to get my driver's license switched over. And fortunately, I don't have to worry about an appointment. We can just go to one of the locations. But there's a possibility that the repairman might come today, so we're looking at probably tomorrow. And there's locations that are open tomorrow where we can just go and get that taken care of. Probably be a good idea for me to just take it easy again today, go out for some walks. I really would like to get out and go for a walk, tell you the truth. Stretch my legs a little bit. And just, yeah, take it a little easy. Maybe go and get something to eat, to cook again. We made tacos. Their daughter and we made tacos from scratch, flour tortillas. I taught her how to make flour tortillas. She was just like, bam, right in there. She really wants to learn how to cook. So at least she has somebody here who can teach her, how to do all of that. So yeah, that's that would be it's a total turnaround from what I've been dealing with out there. Total turnaround. I'm just, in many ways, I'm not trusting it, as I'm wondering, okay, when's the axe going to come down, because of everything I've been dealing with, really for the last 5 years before I even had COVID. Well, I believe I had COVID 5 years ago before we knew even what COVID even was. There was something going around at that time that was horrible. That it had, once we found out about COVID, it was the same identical symptoms. So in that case, I've had it twice. But yeah, this really, the last 5 years have been, I'm realizing hello. She's doing fine, by the way. Yeah, I'm realizing how much I've really been being abused. How much I've been being torn down by people. And it's been a struggle for me to keep my sanity, to keep my spirits up and so forth. Because of it. Actually, and Angie and I were talking about it last night. She just wanted to find out, status, where we're at, and so forth, so that way she can, talk to her daughter, because I'm using her daughter's room, and, figure out course of plan, what we might, or a possible alternate course, that we might have to take until we can get me situated, and so forth. Excuse me, I know, I'm so sorry. Yeah, and she was just like, no, don't worry, I'm not kicking you out or anything, and I'm just like, oh God, here it comes, all I've wanted this whole time is just help, and I might just get it, and that's a good feeling, it really is. We're talking with the social worker yesterday. It's like, okay, I'm still hesitant. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, well, fingers. It was like she was talking with me and actually listening, wanting to listen. In the end, she's like, would it be all right if we said a prayer? Okay. I've only had one other person, and that was when somebody who came and bought up a whole bunch of stuff from me this past weekend. It was on Sunday, I believe, that she did that. And it just, just completely blew me away. So, but yeah. I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything. And, but, we're talking with her yesterday. it gave me a little bit of hope, you know. I'm still hesitant as to knowing if I'm possibly going to get any sort of medical help from Mayo. But I also knew it, with coming out here, it was going to be a huge risk. Especially after not getting any help out there. Even my primary care physician's office, I was having issues with them there at the last minute. All I had done was call them to ask them for a letter to take with me to the airport, explaining, my insulin, syringes, and the food. And I got nothing but hassles. I did basically I had to leave a voicemail. Didn't hear back from them, so I called them again. Had to leave another voicemail, and I finally hear back from them, and she got all the info. Didn't hear back from them, so I call. This time I was actually able to talk to somebody. It's snippy, and I was told, oh, well, that takes 72 hours. Well, I'm leaving within 48 hours here. We're talking business hours. And I'm like, well, I'm leaving in 48 hours. And I've been trying to get a hold of you people all week. And anyway, she gets a hold of her manager. And then I'm told, oh, well, oh, you had to make an appointment, come in, and everything. And I'm like, first of all, I was never told that. Then on top of it, I don't have a car. And to do an Uber up there is going to be extremely expensive. Okay, hold on. And then, oh, well, we could do basically a Zoom call and everything. And I'm like, well, how much is that going to cost me? Because I don't have insurance now. Hold on. Oh, that's going to be $95. I don't have $95. Well, you could pay half now and half later. Constantly, of course, being put on hold. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And then I could get a letter that day or whatever. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. You all are the ones who dropped the ball. And you're the ones who are now making me pay for it. And of course, my doctor was gone for the day, so it'd be somebody else, and so on and so forth. I'm like, why in the world do I need to have a doctor's visit for a letter to take with me to the airport? Right. So, yeah. I'm just like, no, I'm going to just take my chances. And that's pretty much what I did. I did call Delta the night before, and fortunately they put my mind at ease with everything. And when I checked in, I went ahead and checked in at the same time when I called them, and I had also requested a wheelchair at that point. I'm so glad I did that. So glad I did. There's no way with as many difficulties as what I was having already with everything, I wouldn't have made it. I would not have made it. And they had a wheelchair also waiting for me when when I landed here too. And yeah, that was huge. That was good. So anyway, and especially as heavy as what my backpack was, because I was cramming stuff wherever I could. As far as the luggage was concerned, the one bag, it was like 43 or 46 pounds, something like that. But the other one was 51.6 pounds, so I exceeded the limit by about 1.5 pounds, but they let it slide, which was very nice of them. That's the Vegas that I used to know. Yeah. So, um, but yeah, and Possum did very, very well. I'm very proud of her. I don't know if I mentioned that yesterday or not. She did very, very well, and she's been doing really well here as well. So that's good. But anyway, yeah. So I'm quickly realizing that I think I'm going to be having some decompression going on, both psychologically and emotionally as well, which of course is going to be affecting my health too. I've been so much, really, over the last 5 years. First living in 2 households with a bunch of drug addicts and constantly being barraged with criticism that everything that happened was my fault. Even some, basically being considered a friend, but I would make a suggestion or whatever, and it would be turned down. But then somebody else would turn around and make the same identical suggestion. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, situations like that. Also beaten up. I was beaten up once by a total psychopath. She just basically she had OCD issues, and only with OCD issues it was she would focus all of her frustrations about, nitpicky sort of things on focus on one person at a time. Well, there was one person, and then there was another person, and then there was me. I couldn't turn a light on in the hallway, so I could see to go down the stairs. Couldn't make a noise. Had to tiptoe constantly. And all she had to do, really, as far as the light situation was concerned, because what she was claiming is that it was waking her up. Even though she had her door closed, she could see the light come on up underneath the door. Well, first of all, why did you move your bed into a position where you would be able to see that? And if it is an issue, why don't you put a towel up underneath the door like a normal person does? Whatever, But it wound up coming to a head, and yeah, I tried filing a police report. Well, I did file a police report. I tried pressing charges, but they said it was a domestic situation, so they wouldn't pursue it. I'm like, oh, I guess this is. I just basically told the detective right out. I'm like, oh, I guess this is how we wind up with so many women being murdered by their husbands. He didn't have an answer. Yeah, that's Metro. Las Vegas Metro Police Department. I guess that's how the other 2 murders that happened that night. Yeah, I guess that's what the situation was. I don't know. I know that's just me being critical as well, but that's just how I felt and still feel. So, anyway, yeah. Excuse me. So, there's a lot of decompression that I'm going to be having to be going through. And people, for the most part, have been pretty nice. Noticed a couple of little. I'm trying to think. A couple of cultural differences, you know, but it's okay. It's minor, but I can't help but notice it, But that's okay. We'll get through it. It's it's going to take time. There's a lot of, and then of course my own family situation hasn't helped situation either. So yeah, there's a lot of decompressing that's going to happen. Of course, when I pulled my phone out to sift through social media and so forth this morning, and I have my widget from my weather app up there. It said it was 1 degree, but felt like minus 12 outside this morning. I'm like, yeah, that's a little bit of a turnaround. I know my phone, it kept pulling up Vegas weather, yesterday. And it was funny because I kept thinking, oh, it's 55 outside? No, that's Vegas temperature. I'm like, should the snow be melting? Oops. So, but that's okay. I finally figured out why it kept pulling that up. Even though I had it set for here, it kept pulling up Vegas, but I found the reason why it kept pulling up for Vegas. So I got that taken care of. So now all I'm getting is the weather here. It's like I need to force myself to get acclimated to where I'm at. And of course I'm going through, the time change and so forth too. So, and of course I've been exhausted from everything that's happened. So, but I think we're starting to get a little used to the chill. Actually, Possum is over there now on the floor, sprawled like, Mom, please, I'm hot. I've been keeping it a little warm in here until we get a little bit more acclimated. But now she doesn't, now we're on carpeting, and she doesn't have any place to go lay down on to help cool off because Mom's hot, or Mom's cold. So, yeah, I know I need to turn down the space heater. But otherwise, yeah, I know it's just going to take some time with everything. But it was really fun last night, making tacos. They really enjoyed them. I did find some cayenne. They were like, oh, no cayenne or whatever. And it's like, just a little bit, not much. And I could definitely smell it. I had come upstairs to get my stuff to take my insulin. And went back downstairs, and I could definitely smell it. And it was perfect. Just right. And they all woofed them down. They really woofed them down. So I know they appreciate having a home-cooked meal instead of something from a box for a change. So, if I can do things like that, then that's great. I don't mind. And their daughter's learning how to cook at the same time, and that was really special for her. It was funny because I was going to start, and I guess she heard me. She's downstairs in the basement, and she came flying upstairs, and I'm like, and she just stands there, and I'm like, everything okay? And she said, yeah, I thought you were starting without me. I'm like, no, you're right on time. I'm like, okay, this is a switch. So, but I talked to Angie again. She had offered me to her one computer, where I could, I have some old Adobe Creative Suite software that I can install and see about working on my portfolio. We talked about that yesterday, the social worker and I. Maybe I can test the waters here. I have looked at job opportunities. There was one, nice pay, and I would definitely have qualified for it. So it's a possibility, It's what it's all about now. And Angie's been telling me about different craft stores, aside from, the national chains. But there's some more local stores and everything, so that's really cool. I would love that. I'd love to get the money together, send off for my stuff, all in good time. And there's some things that I left behind with somebody. All I have to do is send the money, and I know she'll send it, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah. It's been I know. I know somebody commented about my but. You know what? This is my own journal. Deal with it. If you don't like it, take a hike. That's the way I look at it. This is me. This is unscripted, okay? This is just me getting my thoughts out, sorting things out, and so forth, and to show what I'm going through at the same time, okay? So, yeah. I just had to say that. Don't be so negative. Realize what somebody is going through. And a lot of times, my head isn't with me either when I'm doing these, for one reason or another, either exhaustion or brain fog, and so forth. So, see it for what it is, and stop being so nitpicky, and maybe look at the reason why you're being triggered. That's the way I look at it. But anyway, yeah, I know I need to go so I can get her some food and water, and get some food into me as well. I know. Maybe go for a walk. That sounds really, really good. Go for a little bit of a walk today. I can get a picture of those monster icicles I was talking about, and then get my pictures up there so y'all can see what sort of environment I'm living in now. It's not red and brown sand anymore. It's all white. But I'm actually excited about things. And I'd like to be able to build a new portfolio and maybe get a job as a graphic designer for a change. Yeah, because out there, they brutalized us. We were brutalized. It'd be kind of nice to see how it is out here. Yeah. So far, it's been pretty. It's been different, that's for sure. So it gives me hope. That's what I need right now, is hope. Opportunities for some hope for a change. So anyway, I should let you all go so I can do things, and so you can do things too. All right. You want to say hi? There she is. There's the pretty girl. Yeah. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to y'all soon.